Disney's Lorcana Into the Inklands is here. In this video covering the release, we're going to jump right into the booster box. You can see on the front here, we've got Piglet, Jafar, and Stitch on the front there. You can see 12 cards per pack. We got Tinkerbell in Pongo. We got good old Scrooge McDuck, and then Peter Pan on here. We'll first start off with just, opening up the box here. And let's just start right out with our first pack here. Okay, so right off the bat, I can, see this is very different from the cards that we've gotten in the past. Typically, we'll get like a QR code or something, and it has like an art on it. But it looks like now what comes with each pack here is like new rules going over the the new card type, which looks like locations here. So maybe I'll cut this part out, but I'm going to read it all just to get it all out there, at least the first section here. New and Into the Inklands, locations are glimmers that are played and go on the table in front of you just like characters and items. Only special location rules are explained here. Some locations give you a benefit, some give you lore, some do both. And of course, other cards have abilities that involve this new card type. Looks like they got locations here on the back here. If you're actually looking for more in-depth information about locations and how they work, we do have a video that just went up on the channel explaining kind of the basics, some misconceptions, information like that. And it looks like this also does include a new rule, which is moving damage. The ability to move damage counters from one character or location to another. Moving damage doesn't count as dealing damage or damaging the character or location receiving the damage counters. Effects that modify the amount of damage dealt don't apply to damage being moved. So I think this is really for the case of, resist. If you move like a damage token from one character to another that has resist, they don't resist that damage since it's not dealing damage. I think that's kind of what's important about that. Just put those off to the side and start off with the deck here. We got our Magic Broom there. We got King Louie, Robin Hood here. We got Kakamora, I'll Find My Way, great song from Hercules there. And then we got Orville. For our first uncommon card, we got Magica Dispel from DuckTales here. We got a Tinkerbell here, Generous Fairy. And then we got Has Set My Heart. I was wondering, is this from the Mouseketeers movie or not? Very interested to see, but definitely not a song that I was expecting to have kind of come back into my brain. Our first rare card here is Helga Sinclair. She's a 2-in-1 Emerald. And then we got, look at that, a really good legendary, actually. 4-cost uninkable. He's 0-1, and when you exert him and pay 2 ink, you can play a character for free. It's a pretty strong card, though. Typically, if there's people on the board, no bodyguards or anything to protect him, he's going out right away. But very cool to get as our legendary here. And then we got a holo of the Undeterred Voyager, Moana. She's evasive, and just kind of a little common card there. So, gonna kind of keep our legendaries separate from everything else. And same with the holos. Alright. Second deck here. Yeah, and I can already tell from opening up all these cards here, gonna get a lot of these, and unlike the cool art cards that we got with previous ones, it's not really worth keeping or collecting these. So it's gonna be a lot more garbage I'm gonna have to toss out. Now we're starting with Lena, is that Saberwing? I never pronounced that correctly. We got the McDuck Manor there, with the chunky 9 willpower on that. We got our Minnie Mouse, another location with Agrabah, and we got Don Carnage and Mr. Snoops. Now for our first uncommon, we got another of this Magica Dispel. We got Tiana's Palace, look at that, 3 locations. Another of this Has My Heart. For first rare, we have Hades, which is very interesting, where you can run him with other Titan cards and allows you to really combo with them quite well. And look, for our first legendary, the card I definitely wanted the most is the Jim Hawkins here, where I got 3 locations in this deck as well, but when you play this character, you may play a location with cost 4 or less for free, and whenever you play a location, this character may move there for free as well. Definitely been looking to collect some of these. And then our holo, we got our first holo location here with Nottingham, Prince John's Castle. No special ability, but very cool. We are 2 for 2 with getting legendaries out of these packs. That either bodes very well or very poor for my future pulls here. Happens when technically we got one more card packed into each pack, since this comes with 2. Alrighty, bestow a gift. Very interesting 1-cost card. See if we can find any use of that in Amethyst decks. We got Cloud Kicker, another Kia, good, that's 2 of the 4 I need. Della Duck, Bill Manor, and then Miss Bianca. Alright, our first uncommon is Sorcerer's Tower. This is the card that I was telling you about. That's going to work with Magic Brooms, where they can move there for free, and they get +1 lore while they're there. We got 99 Puppies, and then we got Robin's Bow. For our first rare, we got the Aurelian Gyro Sensor. Whenever one of your character's quests, you may look at the top card of your deck, put it either on top or bottom of your deck. That one's an interesting one. And then we got our legendary here for Grammatala's Spirit of the Ocean. Floodborn, Shift 5. Her ability is, Do You Know Who You Are? Whenever a card is put into your inkwell, gain 1 lore. That's pretty strong, especially coming from Sapphire, where you're putting more ink into your inkwell. I'm pretty sure this also means whenever you take one of your cards from your hand and put it into your inkwell at the start of your turn, that also counts. So quite strong in general, especially in Sapphire. And then we got a holo of Baboom there. So a pretty decent amount of legendaries coming in for us here. Alrighty. On to our next pack here. Getting close to the halfway point. Rid of those. Alrighty, we got Grammatala. So, Grammatala we could shift onto from that one there. Turn 4, you play her. Turn 5, you can shift that one on. Pretty good when you got, the sequential that you can get out there. And when you play this character, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You may put 1 into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. I always find the wording of these ones funny, because it's like, any order, you're putting 1 card, at the bottom, so there's only 1 order to put it back in. I guess it says you may put it in your hand, but I don't see why you wouldn't. Olympus would be that way. We got Peter Pan. Peter Pan. There's no D at the end there. Cubby to keep him company, the Firebird, and then heal what has been hurt. We then got for our first uncommon Lythos. We got Maui here. And then we got the Queen, Mirror Seeker. I love the art on this one a lot. For our first rare, we got a Floodborn Peter Pan here. We've gotten a lot of Peter Pan characters in general, but this is our first Floodborn one we get. He's evasive, and whenever he challenges a pirate character, this character takes no damage from the challenge. So I know there's a location that benefits pirates, so it's going to be interesting to see this card played in maybe some anti-pirate decks that pop up. And then we got Wendy Darling. Now, this is the one card when they first announced it that I was like, why is this a super rare? It's 3 cost, inkable, 3-in-1 strength, 2 lore, and then she gets ward and support. I feel like she's way too easily killable. Or, sorry. Can't use that word. I feel like she's way too easily banishable. Kind of make it worth the, the super rare, designation there. I mean, sure, she's got support and can give 3 support, which is nice. But, Phil does that. He's, 1 lore, but he's a 3-in-1, and he's only like a common card. I don't really understand what makes her go from, to like super rare abilities there. Maybe there's some card combos out there that kind of warrant it, but it's a strange super rare to me. And then for our holo, look at that. We got a holo of a legendary, and this is Maleficent, Mistress of All Evil. Pretty amazing card here. And something you might notice with the cards here, with any legendary that you get now, you can kind of see it with this one up here. The text box is a little bit translucent, and you can see more of the image kind of peeking through. This was not a thing with previous legendaries or cards in general. The text box, you know, if it was a promo for set 2 and on, has like a little distinct like marking on it, you know, kind of a little bit hollow flair to it itself. But I find this really cool how they're making these legendaries even more distinguishable due to the text box being kind of like see-through and making them, you know, stand out even more. But this card's pretty great. You know, you play this in a song deck with a whole new world. You know, whenever you draw a card, you may move 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character. So you draw 7 cards from a whole new world. That's 7 damage markers you can move to somebody else. Pretty amazing. Keep that one separate because of just how good that card is there. That. Alright, we're starting off with, a card I have not seen before. Repair. Remove up to 3 damage from one of your locations or characters. Decent there, and inkable. We got a Chief Tui. We got the Undeterred Voyager Moana. Strike a good match from Milan. Magicka Dispel. And then Boss's Orders. First uncommon is going to be the Bayou. We got Scroop from Treasure Planet. And we got the Floodborn Cloud Kicker here. And then for our first rare, we got Bell's House. This is a good one here, especially for any item decks. You have a character here, you pay 1 less to play items. You know, might see that in some Popsicle decks. Look at that. Okay, we got the Chernobog I was talking about. Super rare here. This is a very interesting card. You might immediately look and be like, wow, 10 cost uninkable? Who would ever want this in their deck? You gotta read his ability. For each character card in your discard, you pay 1 ink less to play this character. And then when you play this character, you can shuffle all character cards from your discard into your deck. So very unique ability here, where if you're playing it in like a very swarm-heavy deck and somebody, you know, especially if people are dealing with it by taking out your character cards, you have the risk of drawing him early and him being stuck in your hand, unable to do anything with him unless you have a way to put him in your ink pile or discard him for any reason. He is 9/9, which makes him pretty strong, gets you the 3 lore. That ability, I like cards like this where, you know, it's a very interesting, unique ability that can really hurt you or really help you depending on when you draw it. And for our holo, we got Joshua Sweet here. Ready? This pack out. Alrighty, so we got the Hateful Rival of the Queen. We got our Kit Cloud Kicker here. We got Olympus would be that way. We got our Della Duck. I will find my way. And then look at that. So we got another Dalmatian puppy with a different art on it. So this one's A. For our first uncommon, we got Hydros the Ice Titan. We got 99 puppies. And we got Wildcat. Now, first rare, we got Huey here, who's the support, and whenever this character quests, if you have characters named Dewey and Louie in play, you may draw 3 cards. So it really encourages you to get the, you know, the triplets together. We got Map of Treasure Planet, which is from Steel. You pay 1 ink less for the next location you pay, and you can pay 1 less to move your characters to a location. Very great item to have, especially if you're doing a location deck. And for our holo, we got, look at that, our very first Enchanted Rare that you're going to see up on the channel here. A little bit behind the scenes, I did film our gift set opening there, and you'll get a little bit of hint for that one. But very cool. Captain Hook here, Master Swordsman. I just love the art on these new Enchanted Rares. And just of note, there are actually 6 more Enchanted Rares in set 3. So instead of like 2 from each ink color, we got 3. But from each ink color, you got 2 character cards and then either a location or an item for the third one. But just amazing art there. Really cool to get an Enchanted right here on camera like that. So during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, ready this character. He can't quest for the rest of this turn. Characters named Peter Pan lose evasive and can't gain evasive. pretty cool card there to get just in. Amazing pack to open up. Very, very cool to see. You know, finally, after opening up so many packs on camera, you know, a lot of times you don't see because we just, you know, scrubbed that footage since we didn't get anything good. Finally got an Enchanted Rare. Alrighty, next pack. Are we gonna go for 2 Enchanted Rares in this box? That might be a little bit of, you know, a little bit of an ask, but that or let's get some good legendaries. Let's flip this around. We've got Forbidden Mountain. We got Rufus. We got Mickey Mouse here. Billy Bones. Zazu. And then Joshua Sweet. Up next, we got Jafar here. We got Nani from Lilo and Stitch. Very interesting bodyguard card there. Cloud Kicker. Ooh, we got the, for our first rare, or super rare here, we got the Magicka Dispel. That is a Floodborn. Whenever this character quests, gain lore equal to the cost of one of your items in play. So for any, you know, item decks that have, you know, an item card that has a high cost to it, this is going to be a pretty great card, especially since she's Floodborn. You can get her out on turn 5. Pretty cool. And then we got the Scrooge McDuck here, which there is a holo version of that in one of the starter decks. Once again, maybe it's just the Scrooge cards, I don't know, but you can see, like, the coins through the bottom again. But richest duck in the world. During your turn, this character gains evasive. You know, I don't really find that ability too great in and of itself. But during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you can play an item for free. Now, that's a pretty cool ability to have. And for our holo, we got a holo of Stratos, the Tornado Titan. Let's get these off to the side. That there, and with this pack, after this, we will be at our final 3. Got the Firebird, got Repair, Chief Tui, Moana, got Strike a Good Match, and Quick Patch. We got for our first uncommon, It Calls Me from Moana. We got our Wendy Darling here, and a Friar Tuck. For our first rare, we got the Boss is on a Roll from you know, the Ursula song. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put any number of them at the top or the bottom of your deck in any order, gain 1 lore. That's a pretty good song card to have. I'm noticing we got some pretty great songs being added in. And look at that, we got a legendary here with Parita. So she does have, like, the see-through bottom. So maybe it's just, like, Scrooge cards and then legendaries is what they're doing with that. When you play this character and whenever she quests, you may play a character with 2 cost or less from your discard for free. That's pretty interesting where, you know, especially if you're doing that joke-ish, you know, 99 Dalmatian deck, just be able to take any Dalmatians that might be in there that are 2 cost or less and just play them. It also works well with, once again, like that Rockstar Stitch deck where somebody took out a Lilo or Pinocchio that are, you know, 1 or 2 costs respectively. You can just play them for free again. And then for our holo, we got Billy Bones. For our last deck here. Let's see. Last deck magic. Do we have any? Out of there. So we got Distract, Nottingham, Voyage, Flotsam, Bestow a Gift, and Neverland. We got a non-holo now of that Mr. Shmee. We got Slightly Lost Boy, and then we got Dewey here. Our first rare is going to be John Silver, Greedy Treasure Seeker. Great, my first John Silver card from this. Each location you have in play, this character gains resist +1 and +1 lore. That's pretty good for a rare. We got a super rare with the Sheriff Nottingham here, which is pretty strong. Works actually pretty well with that Maleficent card we got here, where, you know, it works very well with A Whole New World. Whenever you discard a card, you may deal 1 damage to chosen opposing character. So, you deal, you discard your hand. Let's say you have a bunch of cards in your hand. You can deal damage to opposing character. And then actually also with the, I know there's a card I think we saw earlier, where whenever you draw a card, is that what her ability was? Yeah, you can move 1 damage. So it's like you can deal so much damage with a whole new world just by having made both these cards in play. And then we have a Hollow of a Friend Like Me. Alrighty, so we had a lot of pretty good cards throughout this set. I just put out my favorite ones, where like rares are above. We ended up getting 5 total legendaries, one of them being a Hollow. We got an Enchanted Rare, which is pretty awesome to see. And then we got, some other good Hollows here that were, legendary or super rare or rare. And then some other good Steel and Rare cards that I'm excited to at least try out in my deck, add them out, see how they work. And that's, everything from this booster box. A lot of great stuff here. If you're looking for more videos about Lorcana or, the new release of Into the Inklands, check out the playlist or video here. And until next time, have fun and quest on.